Okay, so I'm back with another film study. It's been a minute. As you can see, I'm in a new area. I was moving for a while, finally back, so happy about that. But yeah, let's get into the film study. Today we're going to be talking about Jacob Eason, the reason being he is currently maybe the starting quarterback, probably the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, unless somehow Ellinger beats him out for the job. And I kind of wanted to make a video talking about what he could do and how big of a deal is this for the Colts? Can he just pick up the offense right away? Will it be a disaster? I think it's interesting, and there's some good and some bad. Let's start off with the good. So first, we'll start off with a play like this. This is probably, this kind of thing is what Eason is probably best at. It's his deep ball. It's the fact that he can throw down the field. He does have a big arm, and he's accurate with it. So all of that stuff combined, that's kind of what I like about him. I do like Jacob Eason. I think he's a pretty good player, and it's stuff like this that really is good. So watch what happens. It's going to be a cover one play, so only a single safety deep. This is essentially a one-on-one matchup, and the receiver is going to get wide open, but watch the throw. Like, look, as you see, there's a play action, and it's going to just be a perfectly accurate throw. He hits him exactly where he wants to hit him, and it results in a touchdown. So the fact that he can do that and do that consistently, that's a big reason why he did end up getting drafted. Like, here's another example. It's going to be a similar thing. It's a cover one play with it's a receiver running a go route. He's actually currently off screen right now, but he is running a go route. And this is this is a lot of what the NFL is being able to make this kind of thing work, and especially with a team like the Colts, who don't necessarily have the best, jump ball receiver currently. Getting a quarterback who can make these types of deep throws could really be a big benefit to the Indianapolis Colts. And as you see, right when this play starts, you're going to notice that, this is, again, as of right here, not a ton of separation, right? So unlike the last play where it was wide open, basically, this time, not so much. There isn't a ton of separation, and so it's going to really have to be a perfect throw, I would say, from Eason for this to be complete. And as you see, it is a perfect throw. It wasn't complete, but it was a perfect throw, and that's all I really care about. I don't care if the receiver makes the catch. I care about, did Eason do his job well, which he did, and that's probably the best thing about Eason is his deep ball. It's great. Now, there's more to being a good quarterback than just having a great deep ball. In fact, there's more to being a great quarterback than just being able to throw the ball well in general. There's several factors that come in. And I will say that I think with Eason, I have full confidence he can have success when things are going well, which, in fairness, will probably happen a lot. The Colts do have a great offensive line. Even with the Quentin Nelson injury, it's still a very good offensive line. That's how good their offensive line is. Although, again, the Nelson injury does hurt, and it seems like probably by the time Nelson comes back, Eason will probably be getting replaced by Wentz, assuming he does get replaced. So that does kind of hurt. But at the same time, I think that the offensive line will be fine. And I think that Frank Reich will do a good job of putting him in a position to succeed. My concern is not about what will he do when everything is going well. My concern is what will happen when things go wrong. To make a comparison, you look at a Nick Mullins in a Kyle Shanahan system, right? Kyle Shanahan, great, obviously, but when Nick Mullins was when he stepped in, most of the time he was able to have success, but there would be some moments where every now and then you're not going to call the right play call every single time, and Mullins would struggle. That could be a thing with Eason. I could see something like that happening. So first, there's sometimes just some straight up rookie mistakes, like something like this, where by rookie mistake, I mean something you can't really blame a rookie for making. And obviously on this play, he's not even a rookie. Obviously, he's not a rookie now either because he was benched his rookie season, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so what's going to happen is you see those two Utah players, watch what they're going to do. Watch them creep in and really basically just show as though they're blitzing right here. But for Eason, he never notices that. And that's something that you would kind of like a quarterback to be able to pick up on a little bit more. It's something that people don't really pay much attention to, but there is a difference between guys who can pick up a blitz and guys who can't. And by pick up, I just mean notice, not, block it, obviously, because he's a quarterback. But when a guy can recognize that there's a blitz, that is a big advantage. And there were some moments, just little things like this, that Eason wasn't able to do a great job of. Because watch, once this pressure comes, Eason basically just has to turn around and throw the ball away. You could argue, well, good job by him for throwing the ball away. But I would argue that I would have rather him with the 14 seconds left in the play clock by the time he was under pressure. So about 16 seconds before the ball was snapped. I would have preferred him to do something with that. Realize there's a blitz and sort of do some sort of audible. This is very nitpicky, admittedly, but this is a small thing, and these small things do add up. Something that's not nitpicky is something like this, which during the game was the all-state mayhem moment of the game, which makes sense. This was very mayhem-y, because watch what's going to happen. So it's man coverage. There's an out route. And this is just a route that Eason shouldn't even look towards, quite frankly. Unless it's wide open, this is a route he shouldn't be paying attention to. And the reason for it is because he's on the hash marks on the top of the screen. So just think about the angle and how perfect of a throw this is going to have to be. It would have to be a complete bullet, and the receiver would probably have to get wide open. So this is something that this kind of route really should be designed to just get a defensive back out of the way. That's the only purpose of this route. It's not something that he should be throwing towards. But once this play starts, watch how. So there's going to be some pressure right away, and at this point, Eason has to make a decision. And again, there's no way he could tell that this is going to get open, because like I said, it's not that you should never throw it. It's just that you probably shouldn't. It would have to be like super wide open, which now it clearly isn't. And for whatever reason, Eason is going to still make this throw, which is just a flat out mistake. I mean, watch, off his back foot. It's basically a jump ball, that's an easy interception and one that he just should never have made. And I'm sure he got chewed out by the coaches after that. It's just, again, it's a young player mistake is what it is. It actually reminds me a little bit of the, you don't throw the Venus route on a Spider 3-wide banana, the John Gruden, Andrew Luck segment. It's a different concept, but it's the same idea, basically. That's why you don't want to make that throw. And one more thing, something like this. So it's going to be zone coverage. There's a play action, and the way it works is you have your number one receiver to the offense's left is going to kind of run further towards the middle, trying to get the corner to follow him. Then a tight end was going to go over in that direction after blocking. So that's the way it works. You hopefully get him wide open, and watch what happens. So Eason takes the snap. He's going to, fake a handoff. There is some pressure right here, but he has an opening. And this is kind of another big concern I have with Eason. He's not the best at throwing off balance. He just isn't. It's not his skill set. He's very good when he, can get his feet planted. He can go through his motion the way he wants to and all of that stuff. When he has to quicken up his motion a little bit, that's when things get a little bit tricky. Because watch, just off balance, ends up missing the throw. That's a throw you want to make, and it's a throw that he doesn't make too often, and that's kind of the biggest concern about Eason I would have. So yeah, just to reiterate, he's not a bad quarterback by any means. I think that he could absolutely run this Frank Reich offense pretty well. I do think that there are some real concerns when things go wrong, but for the Colts, you kind of just hope that you call plays well enough and things go well enough for you that things don't go wrong too often in the 5 to 12 weeks that Carson Wentz is out, which basically means Wentz could miss one game, he could miss the entire season. We really don't, or not the entire season, the entire first half of the season. So we really just don't know how important it's going to be. So it's very interesting. I do like Eason as a player, and I think he'll be fine, but I think there's no doubt, in my opinion, that if they could go with Carson Wentz, they'd rather go with Carson Wentz. If I have to make a bet on who do I think will be the starter week 11, just when we know Wentz will be back, I would say Wentz would probably be the starter unless there's a complication with his injury or a new injury, but that's just my opinion, and I do still like Eason as a player. I don't want to come off as though I'm hating on him, because there is some stuff to like. And the one last thing I want to make sure I say is all of these criticisms I have of him are things you can improve on. It's everything I've criticized about him. You can argue that some things, okay, yes, sure, he has this issue with his throwing motion. Well, maybe Frank Reich can sort of help him quicken up that throwing motion a little bit so he can get the ball out a little bit quicker. Yes, he made some dumb young player mistakes. well, he's not as young anymore, and he's already had a year to sort of sit and learn, so maybe it'll be good for him, especially, under Phillip Rivers. I could see that being a help for him. So there's stuff to like about Eason for sure, but I do think that he is probably just going to be a backup, which is fine. He is a backup, but I think he could be a good one. So I definitely, if Wentz does end up missing, what would it be? 8 games. I do think I could see Eason going like 4-4. I could see that happening. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. Man, we're getting down to it, huh? The Hall of Fame game tomorrow should be fun. I'm excited. I'm sure you guys are as well. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And of course, as always, have a good one.